Hi, in this video I'm going to show you how you can get access to the best VPN with a dedicated IP address. Okay, now you probably know most VPN services, they're pretty cheap and pretty reasonable, and one of the biggest reasons that this is possible is they all share IP addresses. Let me just sort of minimize here and show you the VPN I use. Let's just close that. Called NordVPN here. And you can see it sits in my taskbar and it gives me access to servers all over the world. But of course I'm sharing all these servers with lots of different people. If you look in here, if I want to click on a country, let me just click on a UK server. I'll click on a UK. There we are, click to UK. It'll find the best server. You can see it's UK, United Kingdom 2405. Now that's the server name. That IP address, I have no idea what that IP address is. If I minimize it, I can go and have a look. Let me just go and see here. We'll go to my IP address. You should see it shows an IP address. Now that has been assigned to that VPN server. I know it's in the UK. But apart from that, I've got no control over it. Now, what's the problem with that? Well, why would you need a dedicated IP address? Here's the main reasons. I've grabbed this from the NordVPN sales page, really. And it says basically secure access to business servers. Now, that what this means is many applications or business websites have strict access. And they want you to supply their IP address. So you have to give them your home IP address or the IP address you're using to get access. Now, it makes it really difficult to use on mobile because your mobile phone and stuff changes all the time. The IP address, depending on what gateway you're connected to. But you can normally give you a dedicated IP address from your home address, at least for a certain number of weeks or something like that. If you're connected to a commercial VPN service, a shared VPN service, you won't be able to give them the IP address because it'll change all the time. Okay, another reason is being blocklisted. As it says, sharing a server with other VPN users may call the shared IP to be blacklisted. The problem is each IP address has a reputation. So if people do bad, naughty, spammy, crappy things on an IP address, and you're using that, you get tarred with the same brush. So, for instance, if you wanted to try and access and buy stuff online, if you're using an IP address that's being used by somebody else at the same time, or somebody's actually trying to check out of the same e-commerce provider, say you're all trying to buy tickets to a certain concert on Ticketmaster through a VPN and 10 of you are doing it, it looks really suspicious and you could get blocked, and you quite often do. It's nothing usually serious, but hey, if you've just got those Glastonbury tickets in your shopping basket and suddenly they disappear, it can be quite infuriating. So that's another problem of sharing IP addresses. The other one is online banking. Very, very similar. If you're using a shared IP address there, and your banking site notice other people are using it, again, that's going to flag warnings and can cause some issues. The other thing you will see more if you're using a VPN with a shared IP address is you'll get those horrible captcha warnings, saying, are you a human? You'll get them much more often when using a VPN, purely because you're not the only one using it, and it can look a bit dodgy. So if 500 people are all using that UK IP address on NordVPN, trying to Google something, you might get flagged with a captcha. Again, they're all trivial things. They can be a big deal for banking and business servers. So you can see why people want a dedicated IP address. And of course, lots of people do. The idea is you keep that IP address to yourself. You're not sharing it with anybody, and you don't suffer from the indignities that are being given to that IP address by other people, So your reputation is good. It's like sharing a shared house, if you like. If you live on your own, you're responsible for everything that goes on that address. If you're sharing it with 10 people, you can be tarred with the same brush as those other people. Okay, so basically that's all there is to it. Now, if you want to get a dedicated IP address in NordVPN, I'll just show you where you get access to it. Here, you can see a dedicated IP address. If you try to connect that and you haven't actually bought the service, it'll just hang and you won't get any access. If you have bought the service in your account, it'll work. So now I wouldn't use the dedicated IP address all the time, because purely from a privacy standpoint is that IP address is then associated with you, and it gets rid of a lot of the anonymity that a shared IP address goes. So, there's drawbacks as well to a dedicated IP. It's a very useful thing to have when you use it. The price varies. If you go to NordVPN, if you go to the link in my description there, that'll give you a discount. If you scroll down when you get to the NordVPN account, you'll need, say you get a basic account, it will give you the chance to add the dedicated IP address under services. So it's quite easy to find. You'll find it'll appear in the checkout box. Depending on what's the offer you're using. Mine's got the best offer you can get at the moment, as far as I'm aware. It'll change slightly depending. NordVPN changes its price. It's normally about 60 to 70% off. You'll get that off the dedicated IP address as well. Look at it sort of to about double the price. So you're talking sort of just under $3 for a month for an ordinary IP, and expect to double that to about $6 or £5 if you want a dedicated IP address. And you can cancel the service whenever you want. So you're kind of doubling the price for a dedicated IP address. For a lot of people, it's worth it. If you've got specific problems or specific sites and you find you're getting blocked because of your shared IP, then it might be worth it. So remember, that IP address then is you and you only, and you're completely responsible. Nobody is going to use it. Nobody is going to log on to any other site but you. So it has a lot of benefits for arguably only $2 or $3 a month extra. So, okay, so that's NordVPN. In my opinion, the best VPN with dedicated IP addresses. You can get others, and generally they're quite expensive though. Dedicated IP addresses cost a lot because the VPN service itself has a limited number and they share them among thousands of users. So if you want one on your own, there is going to be a cost. But NordVPN is probably one of the cheapest. Okay, right. Thanks for watching, and I hope you've enjoyed the video. Bye-bye.